Hey all, this is a new lesson for Course 2 and I'm excited to bring you this lesson on silhouettes. It seems to be a new trend of mine. I seem to be putting them in lots of my layouts and I've had some people ask for some tutorials, so this is going to be a new lesson in Course 2 to use a silhouette. Now, silhouette is also known as a shape. And so you can find lots of shape files out on the internet, or you can make your own, and I have some examples to show you. Here is a layout I made. Actually, I just had a hard drive crash, and I lost about just a week's worth of files, not too many, and this layout was one of them. And here's my original layout. I happen to have uploaded the original to Flickr, so I was very thankful for that. I couldn't quite get the font the same when I recreated the layout. So here's my original. I actually like it much better, just little subtle differences that I couldn't quite get, but I wanted to recreate it for this tutorial. So here's the recreated one. And this shape I got off the internet, but she was actually holding a purse. And I actually redid the shape. Let me see if I turn that. Oh, there we go. Here's the shape layer. And I actually recreated the silhouette by deleting the handbag and then using my brush tool with black to recreate the feet, because the feet had heels on them, and I don't wear heels. I used to when I was young, but I would never wear heels walking down this lane that my great grandfather would have walked to go to the train to leave Ireland to come to America. And so here's my shape layer, and basically I just took the paper layer, and if you hold down your Alt key and hover between the two layers, you can see here's my original paper layer. It's the same as the paper layer below. And I'm going to hold down my Alt key, and when I get that little arrow between the two layers, click down, and that's going to group those layers together. If you are in Photoshop Elements, Control G also works. So I've just clipped those two together, and then simply applied a drop shadow. I changed my drop shadow settings so the angle was this way here, so that there would be no shadow on this side, so that it would appear like it was merging right with the paper below. And so the rest of this is basically positioning. So she's standing on the letter, and I made my drop shadow high enough with the size and the distance, so it would be all on this side. If I would take this distance down, you see it would start appearing on this side again. So I've got my distance up high enough that it's only going to this side. And then the other thing that I did was, here is the photo layer, and you see I have a mask on it. So here I will delete that mask, and you see the picture showing on this side, and that takes away from the effect of her walking into the photo. Oops, I'm going to go back to the photo layer. Okay, here's the photo layer. Now all I'm going to do is click on this mask, add a layer mask, and then you remember black reveals, white conceals. So I am going to get a brush tool, and I have black down here as my foreground color, because black conceals, and then I'm going to simply draw on the mask. You want to click on the mask, make sure it's the active layer. It's going to have this little box around it too. And simply draw until, since this has a shadow on it, you have to draw until it totally disappears, even the shadow. And that's all I did to make this look like she's getting ready to walk down the lane. Of course, like I said, I liked my original better. I took some more time with it. Looks like I used a different paper. That makes a difference. This one has polka dots. This one, I think, blends the texture a little better. I'm going to have to go back and find the right paper. I also had trouble finding the same font. But that is that layout, and I'm going to close it out, and we're going to look at this one. This one is a simple silhouette of a letter, and I did the same thing. Here is I used the same paper here. If I turn this off and I turn the letter off, looks like I did more to this than I remembered. Oh, this paper is also grouped with this paper. Boy, what did I do? I dissect it all. Where's the photo? Ah, it looks like I have a lot of stuff going on here. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show you this one. Let's pull all this back up. Now I can't even recreate it. Isn't that funny? Oh, there we go. That appears to be an important layer. So basically what I did for this, though, this is the same paper that I used on the rest of it. And I have done the same thing where I've used the Alt key and grouped it with the letter G to fill it, and then it blends right in with this paper down here. It looks like I have done some more stuff. This paper here, I have blended with the shape. I made this shape here, and then it looks like I've done some work. You can see this here where I have done some work on it to get it just right too. Looks like I'm not sure what I've got going on here. Oh, it's some crazy stuff. But basically, must have been for the shadow purposes. But that's basically what I did. I created this layer, and I think I must have had a shadow down here, and so I've done some things. I don't know if you could figure out my layers. I feel pretty stupid now. Let's see if we could figure them out. I have the background paper, and then I put my photo, and it looks like I had a mask so that it masked out part of the photo over here where it went around the G. And this is actually a silhouette that I made of my granddaughter. And so this is actually her, and I made a silhouette of her to put on top of the G, and I also clipped it with the same paper. And this is something I did vibrance and levels, I think, for the photo, to change the photo. And then this is the paper underneath, but then I did some masking on it to get this square, and I clipped it with the paper also. And then here's my G, and I clipped the G with the paper. And there's my date, my journaling, my title, and that's an element. And then I have a paper that is just a complete solid black, but I used the mask, and you could see I masked out and allowed part of the G to show through. And so I masked out this black paper, which is on the very top. That's complicated. So I have two silhouettes in here, though, and I would give that to you as inspiration. It was a little complicated. And here is another layout that I recently did with a silhouette shape. And this one I chose to I had to recreate it too. I like my original better. But here is the one I recreated. And here's the shape. And it is basically just a stroke. I added a stroke around it and a drop shadow. And that's all I did for that one. But a lot of it is positioning to make it look like it is going through the doorway. So I actually like my original better. I may need to tweak that one. I see I don't have this paper coming up high enough. There we go. I think that looks better. And I may have to resave that one. So that's just a simple way to use a silhouette by leaving it black. And then here are some other silhouettes that I did or I found on the internet. This has a girl of a silhouette, and these are just my final layouts to share with you. And you see I've clipped it with paper also, and used a drop shadow, and I think I even lowered the no, I didn't lower the opacity. I lowered the opacity of this strip of paper here. But I have her hands so that they're holding the words heart, soul, and mind. And this is another one. It is actually, this is actually a photo of my hand and getting ready to touch my husband's back. I just stood behind him and asked him to stand there. And I stuck my hand out as if I was touching his back, and then I created a silhouette of him, and then I also created a silhouette of my hand, and then I pulled them apart so it looked like they were fitting pieces, and I repeated it down here. This is the same silhouette down here, and that turned out pretty cool. So you can make silhouettes out of and clip them with any paper that you want. And that turned out pretty cool. And this is a silhouette, and for this one down here, I thought it was really cool. I used layer styles again, and this one had some layer styles with a, you'll see an inner shadow and some other layer styles in this one to create that, to make that to have depth that came off of that. And I stuck this hand over here didn't actually go well, the shape of it, so I stuck a flower on top of it instead of recreating it. It worked out. I was like, yay! And this is a shape of a coat, and I just clipped my picture with it. This is actually, no, I didn't clip my picture. What I did with this one was I laid this other photo I took of some material over the photo on the bottom, and I cut the shape out of it and allowed the bottom photo to show through. So that is another way if you're going to use them to cut out of something. This is something I found on the internet. Let me get rid of these in the background. That I thought was a great idea. If you had a silhouette shape of somebody or an animal, then you can take a photo. This looks like it's not even a camera. This is like a little jar of something, but you could take something and put it on top of the silhouette. This is a line art drawing more than a silhouette, but it might give you inspiration on what you can do with a silhouette where you can actually put other items on it. I thought that was kind of fun. This is a silhouette of somebody playing golf that I simply stuck on the layout and I lowered the opacity. So it's black and I lowered the opacity to it. And that was a tribute to my uncle. And this is inspiration that I saw on the web, and you see back here is a silhouette shape that they just filled with a flower photo, and they made this shape, the silhouette shape in the back, from their extraction of the girl. And I thought that was some cool inspiration. You might be able to draw from that. And here's the last one. I just have a little silhouette down here, and all I did was clip it with some paper, and that is all I did with that one. I think I redrew that one too. Sometimes I take shapes and I redraw them. So yeah. Did we do this one already? Yeah, we did that one. So that is my inspiration for you on how to use silhouettes. You can take them and clip them with other papers. You can use them to cut from papers. You can use various layer styles with them. And just have fun and get creative. Get out there and get any silhouette shape. Make a silhouette shape like I did on this one from your own photos, or that I did of my granddaughter on top of the G. I made that from my own shape. And that to make the silhouette shape is basically use extraction skills, or you can take the polygonal lasso tool and just I'll make a quick one here. I'm not going to do very good, but we'll just do a real quick one. Let's say this is it. Oh, I did all of that and I lost it. Okay, let me do it again real fast. And of course, you would take much better time than this. And then I'm going to create a new layer, and you can get the paint bucket tool if you want, or you can hit let's see, Control Backspace or Alt Backspace to fill it with the foreground and the background color, and then there you have a silhouette. So it's very easy to make a silhouette just using the polygonal lasso tool. Anyway, I look forward to seeing what you do.